Okay, so just carrying on. Like 4 deuce in the top left. I think it's just worth playing. It's suited, it's kind of connected, it's going to be heads up. King Jack obviously is a call. Check fold top right. Can maybe see bet the 8s as a bluff. Queen 3 suited, I think that's an open. He checks to you, yeah, that's fine. Nice value bet in top middle. I wasn't sure whether he'd call you with worse, but somehow he did. Even when a king came on the river. 20 cents to win $5. I think you could set mine now. Getting like 23 to 1 on your money or something in terms of stack to the calling. Queen 9 could fold. King Jack's definitely a defend here. He's a reg, but he's probably pretty crap. Yeah, you must have a read there. That's a pretty tight fold. I'd definitely try stealing there with Jack 5. Set mine 6s. Open that. Yeah. For 4 cents you need to call that King 7. That's just way too exploitable. 8-5 I'd probably open there and cut off as well. Seven 8 suited I open there, top middle. Like why are you folding King 9 where you got to call 2 cents into a pot of 21? I mean, you're dodging reverse implied odds, so that's about it. Like you can literally just call 2 cents and only play when you flop 2 pair, and it will still be profitable. I'm pretty sure. I mean, 8-9 suited, like just play it. It's a good hand. Suited ace and make bigger pre-flop. Yeah, this is weird. I thought this guy was a reg from back in the day, from when I played 5-0, but or 2-0. But him limping, something weird must have happened. I don't know. Yeah, I think you played the bottom middle one. I think it was played it fine. Yeah. Yeah, obviously four. Jack 9 is probably like the worst jack you open there. Maybe Jack 8 sometimes, but yeah. Like these min 3-bets, you just have to call every single one. Pretty much. So you got 2 pair now. In my opinion, just raise and get it in. If he's got aces or kings or ace queen, I don't think he's gonna fold. See, I don't like your flat there. There's so many cards that firstly kill your action and also scare you from his hand. So now even if he's got aces, he's not going to pay you off very much because it's 4 to a straight. So the turn is where you've got to make your play. Even if you make a small re-raise, the river jam is just easily set up. So he's blocker bet, so you got to raise over the top of this. Okay, well you had the nut low or whatever, nut low pre-flop. Yeah, I would still. Well, I don't know. It depends who it is, but it looks like a blocker bet, and I just probably raise it a bit. Okay, so you got aces in the bottom right. You've got a decision to make. I don't know whether you had a read or what, but I mean, when you're faced with a check min raise on the turn, yeah, generally it's pretty strong. But I mean, I think that's one board where you've got to call at least one more time. Like you've got the best hand here, just more than enough. Yeah, I mean that's a really tight fold. I don't know, maybe you had a read. I don't know, this ice. Yeah, you've readless, you've got to call that. Alright, ace queen 3-bet, nice. Yeah, good sizing, good sizing. And yeah, just check fold, I assume. That's what you're going to do. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, you're playing pretty solid. So yeah, suited ace, I hope you play it in the top left. Yeah, nice 3-bet sizing with the kings. So 8s you can limp and set mine, or try to ISO. I think I prefer a limp here because you're going to try to ISO. And even if they got 2 overcards, they're probably still going to station. You're going to get in a tough spot post flop. So I wouldn't really mind it. Bottom right, you just want to bet like 60%, 60%, 60% on all 3 streets. So in my opinion, 30 cents is too big. You're going to have very small river bet. So now I bet like 50 cents and then jam the river. Pocket 8s is a fold. So I think that's another benefit to making it to limping as well. See, like, although I love that you're betting a decent percent of the pot, you've just got an awkward stack behind. Luckily, this guy seems pretty bad. He's going to pay you off anyway, but now you're betting 30% pot or whatever it is. So yeah, just rip it in. Like, why are you checking back? You know this guy's pretty weird. So, like, yeah, that's a big mistake. That's a massive mistake. That's the biggest mistake of this session. You just lost half a stack of value. That's pretty big. I mean, what are you afraid of? A weird 4? He's paying you off with like knowing this guy, like an 8 or a 10. Yeah, that's a big mistake. Yeah, I wouldn't even mind a 3-bet for value with King Queen off there against that guy. It's pretty bad. Queen Jack, I want you to see the flop in the top left. I'd like you to call this one. You got 2 overcards in the back door, second nut flush draw. Oh, you did call, that's good. Yeah, you're drawing pretty dead now, so yeah, that's a good fold. Probably raise the A7 in top right. I think 8 cents is too big. 6 cents would be fine. Yeah, so top right, if it was rainbow, I wouldn't hate a check back, just to like put some strength in your checking range. But because it's got a flush draw, I think betting is fine. I think I'd bet 8 cents as opposed to 10. 10's going to scare off a lot of hands that might call once or twice, in my opinion. And your kick is not that great. It's King 9 suited. I think it's good to see a flop with that hand. Jack 9 off. That raise is definitely not standard. Like, okay, so you're isolating him, which is okay, I guess, but your hand's just too weak. So he's still gonna have a better hand than you some of the time. Yeah, I mean King 9 suited in the top left is a clear open. So you see that quite small into a fish. Not sure I like it. I think he's going to call a lot. Honestly, think you can see bet this street for value now that you've turned second pair, and then just check back the river. I think he's going to call with an 8 a lot for one more street. Tricky spot. I think well, the flush draw did get there as well. I think the top middle is just a fold, but it's probably close. So yeah, King 9 much rather an ISO here. Okay, so you're doing the same thing, that's good. King 10 suited against a limp, you should definitely raise. And I think you should call with King High and gut shot there at least once. So now, this is interesting, right? So your hand right now is essentially the same as it is last time. So if you're going to check back this turn and then fold to a river bet, then you basically made a mistake on the flop in that you bet when your range is too weak. So I think you should be betting the street again for value. And yeah, he's just done the same thing twice to you. I mean, the other time you turned the second pair, so it's a bit more understandable. But this time, I think you should play maybe your second pairs a bit more defensively, or just have more confidence that you're probably ahead. Because like betting and then folding to bets with second pair is pretty like weak type, or just scared money. Whereas playing it defensively, you keep his range wider. I don't know. I think, and then you can bluff catch more effectively because you know you're bluff catching. But like you just basically set 20 cents on fire there. So I think I prefer you to play it a bit differently next time. Either just checking it back and bluff catching, or betting it for value for another street. So king 6 suited, you can limp as well versus that fish. Gone for the ISO, not a big fan of it, with another weak hand. Maybe you've had like some decent success with it, I'm not sure, but it's just not that strong. So he didn't even call your ISO, so yeah, I think that's without knowing exactly his tendencies, I think that's a bit of a mistake. Yeah, I mean, this squeeze here in the bottom left versus fish, I just don't think it's a good play. I think limping afterwards is okay, and then outplaying them post flop. Just escalating the pot size with a hand that's likely dominated is not so good, in my opinion. I'm just not sure how much fold equity you have. Okay, a nice 3-bet with the jacks. I think I'd probably go for like 14 cents myself. But I guess you're a bit deeper. But yeah, 16 is still good. I'd probably do 16 some of the time. And yeah, like the 8-9 in the bottom left. Okay, maybe it's just a failed squeeze, but even when you're getting, was it 3-1 on your money, might even be worth a flop when you're in position. Alright, nice bet sizing in top middle. Top left, it's close between betting and check calling. I think I would bet. That's just me. I think check calling still fine. So yeah, definitely go for value now. I think that's a bit too small given the board texture. I honestly think you missed a value bet there. I'd expect him to barrel a lot with his flush draws on the flop. But check calling the street is fine as well. But he still was. So I think you've got to call the top left. Yeah, that's about it. Yeah, nice bet with the aces. Yo.
Mike,
Yeah.
have you heard of such a thing as an ironing lady?
Ironing lady.